than just the table to the table. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you know what I'm saying. So it's like if you fucking with me and we genuinely fucking with each other, you gotta come with more to offer. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not just gonna be fucking me and then just laying up for free. Like, you gotta have more to offer, because right now I feel like I don't need anything from a man but respect and a little extra help. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you fucking with somebody, make sure they add into and not fucking you up.
Yeah. Now, a lot of times niggas be taken away from women too.
Yeah.
Without them even being dignitized.
Yeah.
They don't even know that.
Yeah.
And also, in your song Rodeo, you said something like, "Don't text me while I'm out with my friends." Why you don't want, like, you know, sometimes niggas genuinely worried about their girl. You feel me?
Nah.
I be doing the same too.
Nah, you know what it was?
So, why don't you like that?
When I wrote Rodeo, I was actually I was in a relationship at that time when I wrote Rodeo, and we was in a real toxic place in that relationship when I wrote Rodeo, and I caught myself a few times when I was getting text messages. It was very confrontational. Like, it was just a lot of arguments and things like that. So as I was writing Rodeo, I was like, you know, don't text me when I'm around my friends. Like, I don't want to get a bad energy.
But that was a genuine feeling.
Yeah.
Really going on in your life. Like,
yeah. Hell yeah. That whole tape, that whole EP, it was a lot around that time.
That makes you like it even more.
Yeah.
You're not just out babbling or anything.
Yeah.
So also the guys want to know, I mean, because the guys, they like you right here. You just sex symbol. I mean, they want to know. Like,
what they want to know?
Are you expensive?
Am I expensive? Yeah, quality over quantity. I would say I have expensive time. I would say that because I'm not really a materialistic person, but I do have materialistic time. So I'm expensive. I'm expensive for my damn self. So I know damn well I'm expensive for the next man. So yeah, I'm expensive.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, niggas, I'm kind of bougie. I be telling people all the time. And at the same time, bougie don't only mean like finances. Like, I'm bougie with my time, my energy. I'm not gonna go anywhere.
You have to.
You know what I mean? So that makes sense. I like niggas like girls like that too. Yeah. So what's your relationship status right now? I got it,
Nah, I'm good. What's my relationship status? My relationship status is currently working on myself. You know, I don't want to say single, because I feel like a lot of times I said single, and that gave men the opportunity to want to shoot their shot. And personally, I'm just not. I'm mentally, emotionally, and physically not somewhere to give another man a shot. So I would just say, you know, I'm working on myself with talking to people, you know.
Yeah, that's a good answer. And you somebody, so you gotta close that window down. Like, don't think my DMs is open just because
you're single.
You
know, I'm open to conversation. Of course, I'm open to communication, but as far as my relationship status, I would just say working on myself to make myself better for when I do have a husband.
So no exes trying to get you back right now?
Nah, my last ex got a baby on the way. So. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you trying to get you back, you can go viral. Let us know his name real quick.
I'm good. I'm good on the exes and things like that. You know, I'm healing right now. I'm in my healing process. So.
Speaking of exes, I know a lot of times, like, women always talk about how niggas always come back, it's like to spin the block and shit. Why do you think niggas like to do that? You think?
Before my previous ex, I think niggas like to do that because they see a woman leveling up. Sometimes they feel like they regret a lot of things. You know, there's a lot of reasons why exes spin back. You know, I used to admire my exes spinning back. And
kind of flattering.
It's kind of a little flattering. But my ex from my previous 4-year relationship, I don't want him to spin back. I don't ever want to see his face again. So, you know, if you're watching this, please don't spin back. I don't care if it's 20 years from now. Don't spin back.
He's about to fix you more than hey, big head.
Nah, he can't. He can't get me. He can't get access to me. Don't spin back.
So in another one of your songs, you said something like, people do a lot of bullshit and claim they homies.
Yeah.
Do you think having solid friends are important, and why? Because, you know, a lot of times women, like, sometimes women have a stigma, like, they cool with a girl one day, then they beef in the next day. So what is the importance of having good friends in your life?
It's very important to have good friends in your life because, like I mentioned earlier, like, I'm in my healing state right now, you know what I'm saying? And when you're in your healing state, you go through a lot of emotions, and you need to be around a lot of love. So make sure your circle, you have real friends that's really motivating you and trying to bring the best out of you rather than have you repeating the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So having good friendships and a good circle is very important. You know, you don't need no yes men around you. You need people around you that genuinely want to see you win. People that genuinely gonna allow you to go through your emotions, allow you to grow, and people that's there for you, because there's a lot of snakes out here. You know, you would think you have a solid team, a solid circle, a solid person by your side, and that person be the biggest snake. So you just gotta pay attention, you know.
The closest one to you, they could be your enemy. It's not cliche, but it's really true.
Yeah.
You still got some sandbox friends that you still hang out with to this day?
Yeah, my whole hood.
Word?
My whole hood. Like everybody from middle school, elementary school.
That's what's up.
I still hang out with them to this day. Yeah, those are the ones that I trust the most. You know what I'm saying? Like even like when it comes down to like a specific dude that I deal with or talk to, I went back to talking to somebody from my hood. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in an industry where a lot of shit is fake, a lot of shit is fabricated. Should have said not really fake, fabricated. And you know the sandbox friends is the ones that know you the most. You know. And that's what, I don't know, lately that's what I just been around. Like, that's what I've been my niche.
You ever do anything? Was you ever on any type of like reality TV shows before?
I was on Black Ink. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people talk about other shows, but.
Yeah, other shows. Speaking of mixiness, you know, Girl Always Beefing, you know, reality TV shows and shit. And I know this is probably, I actually just saw it yesterday for the first time ever. I just pulled it up. I'm like, let me look up her name. I've seen it. Why, like, Mariah Lynn from Love and Hip Hop, why did y'all fight?
Me and Mariah Lynn,
He was a demon, by the way. He was a demon.
I'm a demon.
You said that. Yeah. I'm like, no, she gave it.
Me and Mariah Lynn, we was actually cool. We was cordial. I wouldn't consider that friendship a friendship, really. You know, but we was cordial, and we had a lot of mutual friends. And Mariah was paranoid at the time, I would say. You know, she was going through a lot of people were snaking her, and we had this mutual friend that she was dealing with at the time. His name was Keanu, and it's so long ago. And she was dealing with Keanu, and Keanu would come to me and my ex-boyfriend and would tell us a lot of the things that went on in their relationship, which what friends do. You know, I would sometimes call Keanu and tell him about shit that went on in my relationship. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when couples pillow talk, shit get misconstrued, and Keanu and Mariah used to pillow talk with each other, you know, as expected, they was in a relationship. Long story short, Mariah got tight that we told Keanu, like, clip her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our loyalty to him is not first. Like, clip her. You feel like she's not doing what she's supposed to do. Clip her. You know what I'm saying?
No personal shit, just
no personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Mariah felt some type of way, and something happened on the shade room, and then I commented, and then Mariah took my phone sending me threats, and I actually wasn't gonna fight Mariah. The reason why I fought Mariah was because she threatened to send niggas to jump my man at the time. And you know,
you being a female, like, nah.
Yeah, I didn't take that threat too lightly. So I pulled up to Jersey, we drove to Jersey, and yeah, what happened happened. The rest is history. So,
that really shows your character, though, because you actually give an excuse as to why she was probably acting like that. You say, you know, I know she was going through this, going through that.
Yeah.
So that shows that you actually like a real good person.
Yeah, we human. We human, and then a lot goes on in this industry that the outside world don't know about. A lot of things go on that we can't talk about, you know what I'm saying? So I understand, just like people were talking about the situation with Travis Scott that happened at Astroworld. And, you know, not to defend Travis Scott, but I've been at plenty of festivals, and I've been in plenty places, and I've seen with my own eyes, and then I will go home and then watch social media, and I've seen with my own eyes that a lot of shit that happens in this industry, it's a lot of details that be left out. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people was bashing me and asking me to judge the Astroworld Travis Scott thing. And it's like, and it's like, I can't judge something like that because I'm in an industry where I know a lot of details get cut out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to sit here and judge something.
Magnify the story.
Right, if I wasn't there. So the industry we're in.
So you from the projects, right?
I'm from Brownsville, yeah.
Heard you, Brownsville. Brownsville got that. They got that rep over there.
Yeah, Steph Nolan Advanced Project.
Heard you. I know there's a few rappers over there and shit, right? Okay. So growing up in the projects, you feel me? Like, you good, man.
I don't got COVID.
I right with that part.
cause that, my nose. I think I got allergies.
Yeah, me too. I got allergies so bad. So when you growing up in the project, did you fight a lot growing up? I think y'all ain't known for knowing how to shake.
Yeah, I fought almost every day growing up in the project. Yeah, I went to the way my project is set up is you have Brownsville, and I'm talking about my side of Brownsville because Brownsville is really big. You have like the 90s, you have Brownsville really big. On my side of Brownsville, you have Steplow, you have Van Dyke, you have Howard. You have LH, you have Brownsville houses, you have Glenmore, you have like, but it's a circle, this is just my side. But it's a circle, then you have Tilden, and then you have Garvey, but it's just like a big ass circle. And from where I'm from Van Dyke and Steplow. Like my grandmother's from Van Dyke, my great grandmother's from Steplow. So where I'm from, I would walk through Van Dyke to cut through Steplow to go to my middle school. And my middle school, I went to 332. And you cut through Steplow, you end up cutting through Glenmore to get to 330. I never forget, I used to fight this girl, it was a Spanish girl, her name was Tatiana. Shout out to Tatiana, we actually cool now. Me and Tatiana used to fight every day because it'd be like one day I want to fight, the next day she want to fight, then you know that I want to fight again, then she want to fight again. We used to legit.
They're both too tough.
Yo, me and this girl used to legit fight every day. And then I had friends that had me for other girls, so we used to jump bitches, and bitches would jump me. It was just, I used to fight every day. I used to fight every fucking day in Brownsville.
How do you think that affects your character and personality as a person? Like, did it make you tough? Did it make you paranoid?
It made me very tough. You know, growing up in Brownsville, I feel like growing up in any hood in New York makes you tough. It could make you or break you, because there's a lot of pussy people from hoods as well. It could make you or break you, but it made me very tough. It helped me get my hands up. You know, so now my hands is really quick.
You got no hands.
Yeah, I got some hands. My hands is really quick, and you know, I got a hard punch. But more.
It be the short girls that's like a fight. I ain't gonna front. They be
fast.
I had a short ass girlfriend. Oh my god.
Nah, no, you did not.
Oh my goodness.
But more so than anything, it also teaches you how to fake work on your anger problems the older you get. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely had a lot of fights around, so a lot of fights. Yeah.
Also, people know you got bars too. Speaking of fighting, you had this one bar. I forgot the name of the song. You said something about being on face, no concealing. I said, whoa.
Yeah.
She got bars. I went over some niggas' heads too. A lot of niggas don't know what concealer is.
Yeah.
Went over some niggas' heads and shit. Right.
Yeah, no face, no concealing. Yeah, that's old.
Yeah. I was listening. I did my research. You probably didn't remember you saying that. Like, is that me?
No, now that you put it up, I remember. I just thought about the studio session I was in when I actually did that.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, damn, I forgot about.
So you know, you speak about you fighting in the projects and shit. Everybody know a lot of the gangs in New York City come from projects or the jails and shit. One of your songs you say you riding with the Crips. How did you get involved with the Crips out there?
All right. I turned Crip when I was 11 years old.
It's like 5th grade.
Is it like 5th grade? I know I was in middle school though. But previously before that, you know, I was raised around a lot of blood. My whole hood got blood. My best friend is blood. And previously before that, I moved to North Carolina. And when I moved to North Carolina, I got really like infatuated with gangs.
Nothing to do down there anyway. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of gangs in North Carolina. But it's a lot of it's bloods in North Carolina, but it's a lot of Mexican gangs in North Carolina. You know, when I was really young, I was like 10, 11. Because I was in the streets a lot at a young age, and around the time I turned like 10, my grandmother felt like she couldn't control me, which is 10 years old. It's crazy, man. My grandmother felt like she couldn't control me, so she felt like it was my environment. So she ended up taking me to North Carolina. I was in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I felt like that kind of made it worse, but she thought she was making it better for me. We go to North Carolina, and I got really infatuated with gangs in North Carolina. But not only just gangs, but I got infatuated with like doing white. When I was hanging out down there, I would hang around a lot of black people, but I would hang around like a lot of Mexicans, because the Mexicans down there, they had a lot of freedom. You know, they had a lot of freedom. Yeah. So I was infatuated with, you know, the different parts. You know what I'm saying? Because coming from Brownsville, which is a hood, and then going to North Carolina, and my family are in houses, and things like that. You know, the Mexicans, they in trailer parks and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the way they just move together. Yeah. And the way they just move together and they just was just moving like a family. Like, I got really like infatuated with that. Like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? You know, because I was raised in a dysfunctional family. So, around that time, like I said, I was thinking about a lot of Mexicans, and I had turned Serene 13. If you don't know about Serene 13, you can go research on it. And my grandmother ended up finding out.
How'd she find out? You on Facebook talking that shit?
How did my grandma? I think the people, like the church, because there's a lot of church people in Carolina.
Yeah, it's probably like a tight knit community right out the South.
Yeah, so the church people was talking about it. Like, the church people was like, she's in a Mexican gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, my grandmother, she was just like pulling up videos on YouTube and things like that. She was like, you don't see the way they chop up bodies, and when they do this and when they do that.
Like,
and
it's not like that.
And she like, and you're black. Like, they do not care about you. You're black. Like, and I was just like, yeah, I see the way they do this and I see the way they do that, and I love it here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I never forget it. Like, I had like said something to my grandmother, like smart out my mouth, like, what's so different than what they do and what my uncles do back at home?
She
I said some shit like that.
Slapped you.
She slapped the shit out of me. She whipped my little ass. So then after that, long story after that, I ended up leaving North Carolina. I came up to New York because I was probably in North Carolina for like a year. I ended up leaving North Carolina. I came up to New York, and when I came up to New York, I used to hang around Franklin Ave a lot. And being I used to hang around Franklin Ave a lot, the Crips on Franklin Ave, they became my family. Like, it was like the way it happened, it just was so organic. It became my family. I ended up turning Crip. I ended up turning A-Tray around the time from under Hillside, and I was 11 years old when I turned A-Tray, and from there, like, it just became a family, you know. And fast forward, I ended up switching my stay. You know, I'm A-Through straight now, so.
They run, I ain't gonna lie, they run the shit right now. A-Through straight niggas, they run the shit.
Yeah.
As far as the Crips.
Yeah, it's full love though, you know what I'm saying? My side of the town, we showing love, we giving back to the community, we doing what we have to do, we doing peace walks, we doing what we have to do for the community, you know. It's not just a game, it's a family, you know what I'm saying?
Positive things for the community, man.
All positivity.
So, so the bullshit came later.
Nah, the bullshit originally started from day one. You know, because the Wu shit, back in the day, it wasn't just Wu, it was Wave Gang. Anybody that was around that time really knows where it comes from. But it's just, like I said, the way I just described my hood, it started like that. Like, when I was a little girl, our older heads always had beef. Niggas from Howard always had beef with niggas from this side, niggas from that side. So as we grew up, we just sort of, that was embedded in us. Like, over here, they don't fuck with us. Over here, they don't fuck with us. Like, we just knew as we grew up, certain spots and certain sides, they fuck with us. And then Wave Gang came about. Wave Gang, PBG. It was a lot. Smooth Gang. It was a lot. It was a lot around that time. Yeah. And Woo was a thing we would do. It wasn't just like, oh, the Woo. You know, we was Wave Gang. We would dance. We would go to parties. You know, it started off really small. But wooing was our signature. Whenever we would go somewhere, woo, niggas would woo back. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just woo. Pop Smoke really twisted and turned it. You know, when Pop went to jail, he met some Wave Gang niggas. And, you know, Pop really twisted and turned it and made it like the woos. You know what I'm saying? But wooing was something we did. You know
niggas didn't even know that extra Pop Smoke shit. Niggas don't even know that shit.
Yeah.
So I know he's from the floors and shit. So what's the difference? I know people ask you this all the time. So explain this to my viewers. What's the difference between Brownsville Woo and Flossville?
Well, Brownsville Woo was the original Woo. You know, that's the difference. We the original. You know what I'm saying? And everybody in the shit know that. Like, it would be no Woo if it didn't come from Brownsville. You know what I'm saying? So Brownsville niggas is who Pop got close with. You know what I'm saying?
It's not, does it stand for like the W-O, or does it stand for anything, or just...
WOO stand for what it stands for on their side, but our Woo stand for we on our own. That's why we got 3 O's. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's different, you know, but we show love to each other's sides, you know what I'm saying, because Pop took the shit global. So, you know, Pop put a positive name on the Woo shit, because Wave Gang, it became, you know, a whole indictment had happened. You know, free all the gangs that's still locked up. But a whole indictment had happened, or whatever the case may be. But Pop really helped to bring Brownsville back to a positive light in some sort of. So that's the reason why, you know, we still shout out Pop and we still 100% support him.
Attention to it.
definitely did. Definitely.
So you got a mixtape out for East Coast Bitch, right?
Yes.
And in the mixtape there's a song called Talk Shit. And I ain't gonna lie, he was talking some shit and he was like, niggas like New York bitches because they can talk that shit, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie, me the first thing I thought, I'm like, she must be talking about some freaky shit. You feel me? So just give me a little go-to saying that you say sometimes, like to your partner, when you're in bed, just to give them some energy, or say these give you some energy.
I ain't have that so long.
What's a go-to saying that you used to say? You feel me? Like, you know?
I can't really remember.
You can.
Like this was yours.
This is yours.
This was yours. Like, I don't know, David. But yeah, talk shit.
You know what I mean? That's a good song, though.
Yeah, it was.
I like that shit.
It's crazy because I'm mad that I didn't release the original version of Talk Shit. I should have released the original version. The original version was really
You liked it better? Why didn't you release that one?
At the time, I don't think I liked it at the time, but fast forward, I like the original one better. Yeah. But shout out to Talk Shit, damn.
Shout out to Talk Shit, yeah.
Shout out to our whole project, East Coast Bitch.
That shit was fire. I like that shit a lot.
I was in a bad space during that project.
I can't really tell. It came out really good. You know?
Yeah.
So, would you come somebody at this point in your career? Would you like?
But I get in a relationship at this point in my career. I just got out of a relationship like 9 months ago. Like I said, I'm working on myself. That relationship, I gave my all to that relationship. I really was invested into that relationship. Like I genuinely loved that man that I was dating. I genuinely saw his potential. I genuinely wanted to see him win. I genuinely went harder for him than I went for myself. You know, so now I just feel like ever since we broke up, now it's time for me to just go hard on myself. So when I get into another relationship, I don't think I'm ready for another relationship. I feel like I'm still going through emotions that I didn't even deal with from breaking up with that previous relationship. You know what I'm saying? I still find myself waking up crying. Like this morning I was crying because of it. You know what I'm saying? So am I ready for another relationship? I'm ready for a relationship with God. That's what I say.
You gotta get yourself right before you get right with somebody else.
Yeah, I'm ready to just get my mental health together. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, there's somebody that I like or whatever. You know, he in jail or whatever. So,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You be sending them little flicks and shit? Better sending them flicks.
I used to.
Better send myself some flicks. Why you stop?
I stopped because it was just, I don't know, it just wasn't me. I was like, you know, it just wasn't me. But you know what I'm saying? So I just say I'm working on myself. Maybe, you know, when you come over there, maybe we won't be together. Yeah. But, you know, for now, that's my stand hold. Like, you know what? I'm gonna focus on me. Get my life together.
So you can live right now. So you can go wait until you come home?
Can I wait till you come home?
I mean, obviously it's not too long.
Like I said, I feel like I'm waiting for myself to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So if he come home during the time I'm finding the best version of myself, then maybe I'll be ready to jump into another relationship. But until then, I'm not putting my trust or all my eggs into one man. You know what I'm saying? I'm more focused on finding myself again and more focused on trying to find a hit record rather than trying to find another relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not focused on that. I'm leveling up. You know what I'm saying? I'm on birth control. I'm not trying to have a baby.
Shout out to DC.
Shout out to DC. You know, it's about making yourself greater and greater, not just in the same mistakes or not getting sidetracked. And you know, that's just every time I've been on, just focusing.
So how long have you been rapping for?
This summer made 4 years since I've been rapping, and it made 3 years since I released my first song. So yeah.
Okay. So the best thing about fame and the worst thing about fame?
The best thing is about fame is when you hear people calling your name and you see the motherfuckers that used to sleep on you, now they cheering for you. The worst thing about fame is that people believe anything they hear about you now. You know, people, they're just hear the worst on your name.
And it'll make it worse.
And they believe it. So I feel like that's the worst thing about fame is that people gonna always think about you any type of way, and you know, you get tired of defending it, so after a while you just let people think whatever they want to do. So yeah, that's the worst thing.
So when can we expect some new music from you?
Tomorrow, actually, yeah. Which will be November 12th.
Video?
Yeah, I'm dropping this new song and a new video tomorrow, November 12th, if this interview dropping after the 12th. A song called Obstacles. And the video is fire. It's amazing. So far in 2021, I dropped one song. I've been pushing one song all year. So now it's time to get back to the basics. You know, I've been grinding. I've been at the BT Awards, Rolling Loud. Shout out to Fabio Foreman. He brought me out for Rolling Loud. Performing in front of 20,000 people. So now it's just, you know, this year, you know, especially since I was dealing with heartbreak, this year I was really focused on like the business aspect of things. And I feel like I have the business aspect of things. I have the networking aspect of things locked down. So now it's time to get back to the music. So now I'm dropping music. So tomorrow, November 12th, I'll be dropping Obstacles with the video. I'm super excited about it. And then my birthday is this Sunday, the 14th.
Oh, you Scorpio?
Yeah, I'm Scorpio.
Okay, I heard y'all a little feisty.
Yeah, we a little feisty. We a little feisty. We misunderstood. We feisty. You know.
Okay, Obstacles dropping tomorrow, y'all. You heard? Too fast. That's crazy. My shit just like overheated as soon as we concluded it.
Word.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, it might be the sun too.
Yeah, it might be. That was we concluded anyway.
Let me know if you want any extra. You know, I'm right here.
Yeah, we can work. We're trying to work. We can work.
I'm with it.
It wasn't too bad though, right?
And then next time it's gonna be more spicy. Yeah.
You can say that loud when I'm watching.
I got you. Look, I'm about to show you.
Shout out Island Views, man. Fuck with me. Island Views _ISLANDVIEWS, man. Benny Bill taking over, y'all. Shout out to the goddess.
Yes.
Nice small, too.
Look, and he's very handsome. Y'all see him? Look. Ooh, you feeling yourself. Look at you. We outside, y'all. Bow.
Special treatment for you, all. I have a little